Hey gamers, Rob from ZborGaming here, and today we're back with another weapon guide for Modern Warfare. Today we're going to look at the PKM LMG and talk about stats, loadouts, recoil patterns, attachment unlock levels, ADS speeds, and more. So, let's get started. Now, before I get into this, I want to touch Season 4 is coming soon, probably in the next couple of days. Make sure to hit that bell notification and subscribe because once the new weapons get released and I get access to them, I'm going to start putting the weapon guides and infographics and everything together as soon as possible. So those will most likely be some of the next weapon guides coming out. So make sure you hit that bell notification and subscribe to get those weapon guides. So with that, let's get into the PKM. So the PKM is one of the first weapons you unlock at level 1. Has a max level of 57. It's a very good LMG. As far as those camo requirements, they are standard across the LMG class and are listed down below here in the bottom left. As far as the base stats, the PKM, like most of the other LMGs, does 46 damage to the head, 34 to the chest, and 31 to that lower torso and limbs. Has a mag size of 100 rounds, fire rate of 750, and a fairly slow ADS speed at 307. A couple other things to note here is that it has a very long reload time at close to 8 seconds. Sleight of hand can drop that close to 6. And it does have a trigger delay of 0.075 seconds. Now, if you have wondered, most of our data, I go pull it from this app from Mutant Media called Hey Potato. If you guys haven't heard of that, definitely go check it out. The app is awesome. So with that, up here in the upper right hand corner, we have all the attachments listed for the PKM as well as the unlock levels. Now, if you want access to all these infographics and the majority of the information here, I'll have this posted on my website. I'll also have a link in the description below. Head on over to ZborGaming.com and you can find it there. Won't touch a whole lot on these loadout suggestions. You can go back, take a look at them, try some of these loadouts if you want. But I have some other loadouts later in the video that we'll get to that I've done some pretty extensive recoil testing on that you're going to want to see. So if we move on to some of the advanced statistics here, the PKM only has one drop-off range at 40 meters. It has a fairly slow movement speed and ADS strafe speed at 88% and 35% respectively. The recoil pattern is straight vertical, and you will see that here coming up pretty soon. As far as some of the specialized attachments, it has 3 barrels. The 18-inch compact, 26.9-inch extended, and the 25.9-inch heavy barrel. Note here that both the extended and heavy barrel come with about a 4% slower or 1 frame penalty to the ADS speed, and really only a 1% slower on your movement speed for that extended barrel. So the barrels really don't affect your movement a whole lot, which is pretty good for the LMG. Do note though that the ammo belts will add quite a bit of movement speed penalty at 3% and 6%. So with that, let's go ahead and look at some of the ADS speed attachments as well as recoil attachments you can put on the PKM to help speed up the gun and improve your recoil. So on the left here, that stipple grip tape, the compact barrel, tack laser, both your no stock or close quarter stock will speed your ADS up. That 150 round drum, there really is no ADS speed penalty for using that, which is good, but you do get the movement speed penalty of 3%. As far as your underbarrels, in this case, the snatch grip is a little unique to the PKM, and you actually get a 1 frame improvement using that underbarrel. This is pretty unique as most of the underbarrels don't have any benefit to your ADS speed. Lastly here, if we want to look at recoil, I have all the attachments listed out here which affect either your recoil stabilization, recoil control, or positively or negatively affect that aim stability. And we'll get into a lot of this later in the video. As you can see here with that base recoil pattern, the pattern is pretty much just straight vertical. So as far as the damage, I've got the damage range here from the 0 to 40 base damage as well as the anything 40 meters plus. You can see that for hardcore, it's pretty much a one-shot kill, except for that over 40 meters to the stomach or limbs, it will be a 2-shot kill. Still a very fast 80 millisecond time to kill with this weapon. Typically in multiplayer in Warzone, 100 health, it's going to be a 3 to 4 shot kill regardless. When you get into Warzone, the PKM will be anywhere from a 6 to a 9 shot kill. And you can see down below, this is how the barrels affect the different ranges. So, as for our recoil testing, if you've watched a lot of my weapon guides in the past, you know that I do it on KHANDOR Hideout, and here I did it with the VLK optic at 25 meters. So here's a video showing sort of your ADS speed. Now keep in mind I do have the VLK optic equipped here. So that does slow that ADS down a fraction. And you can see here with the recoil, it's straight vertical. And with 100 rounds, you can see it shoots way, way up over the building. And here you have the reload time, and you can see it is quite slow as they put the additional belt on and reload. So again, with many of the LMGs, you do have that very long reload time. So moving into the base ammo profile, again, like I showed you before, it's straight vertical. Now, with most of these recoil tests, because if I held the trigger down the entire time, you would not really get to see a lot of the comparison. What I tried to do is stop the majority of the tests right here at this, what I'll call ledge in the building. And so what I did was I tried to count how many bullets it took. You can see in this case, I got down to 68. So this is 32 bullets, went slightly over the ledge. So on average, it was around 28 to 29 bullets was the standard magazine to get to the ledge. So if we go ahead and start looking at the various attachments, I started with the muzzles and the rubberized grip. Here you can see that with the muzzle brake, really didn't seem to help a lot with that recoil stabilization, which is supposed to narrow that pattern some. You can see a little bit later in the pattern, it did help keep it more vertical. And as far as the overall recoil, vertical recoil, you can see it wasn't far off that base pattern at 31 bullets. Compensator definitely had an improvement up to 40 bullets, and you can see we had a lot more bullets here on target to begin with. Rubberized grip tape, again with recoil control, didn't seem to be much better than that base recoil pattern. This is one of these attachments that sometimes it pairs better with other attachments than it does standalone. So moving on to the barrels, the only barrel here that says it helps with your recoil control is the extended barrel, and you can see that for the most part that was the case. We got 35 bullets, whereas the heavy barrel and compact were pretty much around that base recoil. Compact barrel was a little bit worse because 26 bullets was actually over the ledge. So to get to this ledge was probably closer to 23, 24 bullets. So it does have a little bit of a negative impact to that recoil. You can also see you get quite a bit of jump after those first bullet or two that you don't get with the extended barrel. So moving on to the first group of underbarrel attachments, these are what I would call your grips, your commando foregrip, your tactical foregrip. I have your bipod, crouch, and prone. And then I also threw the no stock attachment in here. The no stock says it hurts your recoil control, and you can definitely see here that you're sort of all over the place with the no stock, and you're only 26 bullets. For the most point here, though, a lot of these seem to have fairly minimal overall impact to that recoil control. You can see the commando foregrip did really narrow that pattern a lot, which it's supposed to with that recoil stabilization. And you can see here that really you did not get a major benefit on the bipod. You did get up to 39 bullets though prone, but a majority of those were up here in this range, not necessarily right on target. Now, with the second group of underbarrel attachments, more your sticks, your Merc foregrip, that snatch grip, and the operator, you can see here that on the whole you did get some better recoil control with these. You got quite a few bullets on target here with the Merc foregrip. The snatch grip, the same, as well as the operator. Now, on one of my other YouTube videos, I had a question related to how much does the Merc foregrip affect your aim walk movement speed? Because that stat really isn't out there. I did some testing on a couple of other weapons, and it turns out that this is about a 10 to 12% ADS strafe speed penalty. So keep that in mind using that Merc foregrip. You really want to stay still when using it. Even though it helps with your hipfire accuracy on the move, it hurts when you're ADS'd. So just wanted to throw that out there. Had that question and thought I would add that to this. So also had some past videos where people were wanting me to try out some various attachment combinations. So what I did here was took and threw a couple of these attachments together to see what types of improvements I could get. And I got some pretty good improvement on 4 of these combinations. You can see up to 47, 47, 50, and 47 bullets, which is a pretty good improvement. That's probably about a 35% recoil control improvement. This combo 3 really here didn't help a whole lot. So let's a quick look at these. You can see the majority of them all had that compensator equipped. That definitely helps with your recoil. That's probably the best attachment you can throw on to put a bunch of bullets on target very fast. You can pause it here if you want, take a look at these combinations. I'm not going to dwell a ton on them. What I want to do here is get into the loadouts, which I have on the next page. So here are a couple of these suggested loadouts I have for you using the PKM. So the first loadout is what I'm calling the low recoil or accuracy loadout. And here we have that compensator, the heavy barrel, snatch grip, rubberized grip tape, and the tack laser. So this gives you a blend of ADS speed with the snatch grip, tack laser, and also gives you some accuracy. You can see a lot of bullets on target here. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. For the most part, that's a kill in Warzone. But loadout 2 is what I have set is the Warzone loadout. And really this takes advantage of that stealth with the monolithic suppressor, that thermal scope, the heavy barrel to get that added damage range. And then I threw the stipple grip and the close quarter stock for some ADS speed improvement. You can see here though, as far as overall recoil control, it doesn't help a lot, but it does give you that stealth that you're looking for in Warzone. Loadout 3 was just a pretty decent balanced build. Gave you a little recoil control, some movement speed. On the whole, just a good balanced build. Loadout 4, which is in the blue, is more of a ground war build. I called this one sort of my lane control. This is one where you have that bipod, you can lock down a lane. You can see very good, accurate, lot of bullets on target here. This was one of the highest I got at 55 bullets. Now I did do this crouched because if you're going to use the bipod, you'll only really see the benefits if you're crouched or prone. And you can see here we put a lot of bullets on target. Lastly, there is a legendary blueprint that came with the Mace Operator pack, and that is the Bludgeoner blueprint. I wanted to throw this loadout in, see how it performed, and you can see at 27 bullets, it was sort of all over the place. But the cool thing with the Bludgeoner is it comes with the dismemberment feature. So if you want to watch your enemies explode, throw this blueprint on. So lastly, just take a quick look at a couple of the loadouts here. Again, take a look at this low recoil accuracy build. Very good for putting a lot of bullets on target. And you can see here a little bit of mobility penalty, but on the whole, you increase that control, accuracy, and damage range. The Warzone build. Now with this build, because you have that heavy barrel and the monolithic suppressor, you are going to get added damage range up to around 53, 54 meters. So you will carry that out a little bit of farther distance. Plus you'll have that hybrid scope, that suppressor to stay stealthy. And you'll be doing anywhere from a 6 to a 9 shot kill in Warzone. Again, let me mention though, that is with a fully armored target in Warzone. If your target only has 100, doesn't have any armor plates, you could be doing 3 or 4 shot kills to them. So lastly, I wanted to throw this loadout number 4, this ground war build. Again, I called this the lane control. In standard multiplayer, you can mow down a lot of enemies with 100 rounds with this build, especially if you're holding the lane down. Definitely take a look at this. You can see very little penalty on the chart. You will get some aim stability penalty, a little ADS speed penalty with some of the attachments you have on here, but overall this is a pretty solid build. So with that, guys, that's all I had for you in today's video. Please comment, like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit the bell notification to subscribe. Like I said, Season 4 is coming out fairly soon, so make sure that you check back to the channel as soon as I get access to those new weapons. Start getting all the details and the information. I'll get weapon guides coming out for those soon. With that, thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you soon.